Alright, at first this video is going to be like a rubber ball at first. It's going to start rolling, it's going to start bouncing around a little bit, then it's going to roll flat out. So with that bared in mind, let's hold on to this roller coaster ride and let's go along here. So, alright, as we all know, Nintendo, they're not doing too financially great. While yes, last year some people were going to put their nose in and go, well, you know, the 3DS did good. It did do well. It didn't do fantastic for the company because they still have two products alone, or sorry, three products we technically call the DSi, I guess they're still supporting that, out on the market. And if they're supposedly having these three sources of income not generate equal, if not almost up to the same caliber, cash flow, then Nintendo's not going to do too well. I mean, hell, if they're in a race, they're going to be burning cash because they have to advertise all the... You get the point. You get the point at this point, I hope. I do hope. So, with that bared in mind, the money they're losing from the Wii U, the 3DS is carrying that cash over to try to, put the Band-Aid on the boo-boo here, and the boo-boo's still quite big. And Nintendo's losing money because of this. They're losing some stockholders, all this stuff. All these little things about the company are slowly peeling off, like, old paint. And that's just it, it's old paint. We've seen this old paint for a while, we think it looks shiny and pretty, but it's deteriorating. It's rusting a little bit. So much so, the CEO is taking a 50% pay cut from his pocket, which is admirable. I respect that type of mindset. Everybody's looking at that going, damn, that's actually a pretty darn good boss. Doesn't fire anybody because of this mistake Nintendo's made over the couple of years. Instead, he's taking it out on himself. He's giving his employees an incentive. Hey, I'm sacrificing something from myself so that way you guys can benefit from this company. Do better. That's pretty much what he's saying, which is nice. But at this same, branched thing here, let's look back at what Nintendo's done in the past. They've done a lot of advertising for their products. They have done a lot of licensing for their products. This isn't like nothing new, of course, and people are going to think it is because they're just daft, I don't know. But basically they've done things like cereals were very successful, pillow sheets, which is like the Mario and Link bed sheets, which I still have. They're comfy. They're very nice sheets and I like them, so fuck you. So basically you got those there. And so then you got all the products later on down the line, the Lego kits, the Build-A-Blocks, the, whatever blocks they call them, Kinects, Mario Kart, racing things there. All sorts of products. From pencils, the backpacks, to everything else. Nintendo's not shy about that whatsoever. Plushies from Nintendo World, the Nintendo store in New York. Everyone's probably been there by now if you have money in your pocket and you're able to travel quite often, or you live in the New York area. So, practically Nintendo's not hurting too much from that because people buy their shit daily. So, where's the big hurt, you say? Again, it's through the said project line here, the major project line, which is the Wii U. They need to think of something to fix this said console. They need to repair it. They need to make it so that way people are aware of it. More advertising, for example, even more, make people aware of what it actually is, not just an accessory for the Wii. Because people are probably sick and tired of accessories to the quote-unquote Wii. They want to actually see what this beast can do. But Nintendo, of course, is doing something to try to ail the money loss. They're licensing to mobile devices, as I was saying. They licensed a little bit earlier to Disney for Wreck-It Ralph, as we all remember. Bowser. Or Koopa, depending what you guys want to call him. I call him Bowser. It kind of sounds more catchier than calling it Cooper, because you say Koopa, I think of the damn turtles, and I get all fucking confused. So, this dragon turtle motherfucker. So, okay. Back on track again. We got this now, where Nintendo is starting to branch out and license their products to even more outlets, which is good. Everyone agrees on that so far, right? So with that in mind, I want to see some more Nintendo movies, like The Legend of Zelda, the movie, or something like that. Some people are probably going to agree with me going, yeah, that actually sounds pretty good. I wanted to see that. I saw that IGN April Fool's parody, and that was a real movie, and I was crying, and I was all happy, and I fucking died from fucking sadness and certain. And honestly, I was not that fucking excited. I thought that was pretty. It was a pretty darn good trailer, though. It was some good effects and everything in between. But again, this of course branched out. My English is not very good, apparently. This said idea that if you can think of one video game that you know was successful or something that was niche but had an excellent story. I mean, niche meaning if something so obscure or so fucking out, like, you know, a hole in the wall when it comes to a cafe shop or something like that, but you know that's good damn coffee. What video game in particular would you like to see as a movie? Brought to the box office. Made by a major, you know, director or someone that knows their shit. You know that knows their shit. I'm not talking about grindhouse type of films. I'm talking about people who know their shit. People you know from the past, present, or future that know their shit. And which actors, this is optional. You don't have to answer this part. You just say which game you like and say why you want it as a movie. That's pretty much what this little tag is about. Personally, I would rather see a movie, and this is not me saying Legend of Zelda is my answer, by the way. Ys. Now, it had several episodic parts to it where it had sort of this trilogy setting to it. Everyone knows the Books of Ys. You know, the games are based off a two-part at first, which is the Ancient Omens. So you have these two parts here, which would probably make a pretty darn good movie. I mean, yes, there was that damn anime, which was actually pretty decent. I actually liked that one, but I mean like a live-action one. I don't care if it's done from Japan and imported to America and you have these Japanese actors. It don't bother me whatsoever as long as it's made well. So, I'd rather see Ys made into a movie. It's a very obscure kind of thing. It's left field, but if done right with these boss fights, which of course are in the game, and make them just really action-packed scenes, then I think they could probably do quite well. And I don't think it's not too taxing on the director to, of course, add some extra bits and pieces to the storyline, because Ys does miss a little bit of story, but it's not too hard to, of course, fill that in and make more detail to it. Take the story they already have, which is not too huge, and expand on it. Have a professional writer look at it and go, okay, how am I going to write this? Write it as an actual book. Then take that book and write it into a script. That's all you got to do, right? So, look at Lord of the Rings, how they did that. They pretty much took the book and made huge fucking movies with a lot of walking. It's like an exercise DVD extended edition. So, with that in mind, my choice, of course, is Ys. But for a lot of other folks, they probably want to see other games, such as Mario Brothers or something, hopefully done justice with the Mario Brothers department. Holy shit, live action one wasn't so bad, really. It was just... It's nowadays is sort of like that cheesy goodness you kind of take a bite into, I suppose. But anyway, I digress. With all this beared in mind, when Nintendo's starting to be more open about their products now, hopefully we can see some licensed movies, which are hopefully be pretty good too out of their department. What do you guys want to see for a movie that's based off a video game besides Wreck-It Ralph? Wreck-It Ralph kind of filled in that nice void of nice chippiness to it, and it was a good, feel-good movie. But anyway, that isn't really the type of video game movie I would want. I'm talking about something that's based off an already well-known lore or world. So, again, leave your comments down below. Our video response is great. Take it easy.